So mom and dad cross country skied on flat ground. That was it.
Yeah.
They did not resort ski. They did not rock climb. They did not mountaineer. They did not ride bicycles except for down the street.
Bravery in the face of uncertainty.
Striker contact. Right.
Good job. If you want to study snow, Silverton is the place.
My name is Karin. I'm the director of professional programs for Silverton Avalanche School. I live in Moab, Utah, really big ski capital of the West right there. Grew up in Canada, so I'm an immigrant to the US who's been living on and off Colorado for 20 plus years. I work pretty full-time for Silverton while also working for myself as a ski guide. While also working for a number of different companies, both educationally and in guiding in the snow. So a lot of it came from the other side of having full-time working parents, which is you got to go to like summer things because it's effectively like cheap daycare. So I had outdoor ed through school, and then the place I went to outdoor ed through school, I was like, can I please go in the summers? And my parents are kind of amazing. Like, they have helped wherever they can. So it was always just like chiseling away at where to get the skills. And eventually you meet enough people, you just kind of go like screw around on your own, figuring it out. Like, if you just want it enough and do it badly for long enough, you'll do it less badly. If like no one was showing me this stuff, I had to learn it well enough to be probably not competent on any level, but competent enough on the surface that someone would come with me and be my buddy while I went and did stuff. I was never the popular kid. I was never the person who would walk into a room and be liked by everyone. Like, there was always an edge or overly strong piece of my personality or an opinion that I had that someone else didn't. You get used to pissing people off enough, you stop caring if you do. But in the space beyond just being a dick, there's this space of like comfort that can come from that independence. And it's still hard. We all want approval. I want to be patted on the head and told that I'm doing a good job, but I am willing to be told I'm not and can keep going. Being willing to stand up in front of a room and have a student bring something up that either shows I'm missing something in my own knowledge or I'm incorrect. And that for me, that is this amazingly positive moment. Like this comfort to be told you might not know something and still feel your own value. So for me, and maybe this has changed generationally, but when I got into this career, it was very much like you're kind of thrown to the wolves. Like, you have a job and someone's going to show you some of it, and a lot of what they're going to do is just kind of drag you around and hope you figure it out. And I do still agree with some of that approach, but certainly having a role where I can be the thing that was maybe absent sometimes in my progression and being mentored, which was like having things truly explained and broken down by someone who actually understood them. I actually have a pretty strong belief that my gut is usually not right. I was raised by mentors who are like, you just have a feel. And I've really tried to go, no, you have your brain, and your brain might see a pattern that has worked, but I try and separate the feelings out of it, partially because the last really big close call I had on snow, I felt really good before it happened. And I think our guts are not the primary thing to trust. I think the risk that I effectively took when I was 18 to completely shift out of the path that had been set for me, which is a really academic, scholarship, university-focused path, and like talk to my family and go like, I'm gonna go try and do this, and I'm probably gonna run out of money, and I might not even be able to do it because I don't even really know how to do it because I didn't grow up doing any of those things. That still feels like one of the scariest things that I ever chose and rechose and rechose. And when I talk like keep picking it, we're talking in excess of a decade of, is this the right move? Maybe it's the wrong move. and to keep picking uncertain finances, like jobs where you're not exactly welcomed as like the token female, especially in the years that I started to do them, and to just keep picking that, like that feels like the biggest launch into uncertainty in my personal life. And certainly like the longest hard thing without reward. Like reward came much, much later. Most of it was just like, am I making a horrible mistake? I thought about this a lot when I was cat ski guiding like quite wealthy individuals, people who have amazing like wealth, and yet almost all of them would look at what I did or what I was doing with my life and be like, man, when I retire, you know what I want to do? I just want to like do what you do every day. There's a lot of different ways to measure success. There isn't necessarily a right one, right? There's whatever's right for you. If that is like the metric I'm using, then yes, it was the right call, because the design of my life, both the freedom and the commitments I value that create like a balance or take away from my freedom, all of that brings me an amazing amount of joy. A lot of like feeling that the path you're on is the one you want to be on. And to be a part of the inspiring team here and the vision that Ackerman has to move us forward, like it's pretty hard to say that any decision I made that led me here was the wrong one.